This is Kyle Martin Paintings. Hi, welcome to the studio and welcome to the workshop. In this workshop, we'll explore essential tools like the proportional divider, value palette, red value viewing glasses, and the viewfinder. You'll learn to measure accurately, transfer angles, and observe subjects using the red value glasses. We'll use the value palette for precise color mixing and to create a value sketch. Day 2 includes a second drawing demonstration that will make use of a plexiglass picture plane. I'll teach you how to draw on the canvas working on location, and we'll paint in full color. And on day 3, we'll bring it all together. We'll create a drawing from life using no tools like the proportional divider or picture plane. We'll be using pure sight-size drawing to create our marker sketches, and I'll have an impressionistic painting demo. Rational painting and expressive painting are two sides of the same coin, and I would love to share them with you at this year's spring workshop. Hey, welcome back to the studio for another painting session. Working small again today. I'm getting one more painting done for my Valentine's box promotion. And the photo reference that I'm going to be working from is on the board right here, and it's the snowy truck that sits up on Tarrytown Road. The first thing that I want to do is make a value sketch of the painting. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to go in here and I'm going to drop the color saturation down to 0, which is going to just give me a black and white version of the painting. I'm going to draw the painting on this piece of newsprint here, and then I will create a little value sketch, and from there I'll transfer it to my canvas and get started with the painting process. Let's get started with this little value sketch for this snowy truck painting. Here's the little grayscale marker sketch, and this is going to be really helpful for me to create this painting because now it's time to mix up the colors of paint. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to identify a tonal value that is present in my marker sketch, meaning I'm going to say, oh, the light is falling onto the windshield That is a light value, and I'm going to look at my value scale here, and I'm going to say, well, maybe it's one of these lighter values. And I could say the snow shadow is darker than the light that's falling onto the windshield. So here we have the shadow of the snow that's on the truck. And I'll say, well, if this is the light on the windshield, that snow shadow has to be darker. And I'll say the exposed metal of the truck that's not covered in snow is even darker yet, and so that might end up being a even darker value. I'll use what I've gained in the little value sketch to mix my colors. I'll also transfer this onto the panel to get started. Okay, I've mixed up just a couple of colors of paint to get started. This is the lightest value that I'm seeing on my composition, and it's basically white with just a little bit of lemon yellow added. Here is the shadow side of the snow, and I mixed this precisely to be a 30% value. There's going to be a good contrast between the lit up planes of the snow and the shadow planes of the snow. Now these two, if you look up at the reference material in the background, it's kind of darker than the snow shadow. It's just a lot of those trees. I just mixed up a couple of 50% values for in that area. And then here is a couple of dark pieces of paint. So these are 50% value on my value palette. Actually, you can see them right here, and they just blend into the value palette. And then here is my really dark darks, and those wound up being about a 90% value. So I've got enough mixed on the palette. I've got my drawing on the little panel. There's the marker sketch. Let's get started with painting this thing. Here's the place that the painting is at right now. I think it has a nice fresh feel to it. Because I'm paying attention to the values, we're getting some of that sparkle of the snow, of the light falling onto the snow, onto the truck. And that's where I wanted to take the painting to at this moment. Now from here, it's just breaking back into all those masses. See, all these shapes that I've created are kind of like puzzle pieces. So this puzzle piece of light that's falling onto the old truck, that's a shape or it's a mass. And the same thing, the shadow side, which is indicated as that violet paint right now, it's just a shape or a mass. And in between those two, I've got a little bit of a halftone. That halftone is also a mass, that green color. Those are all the masses that I'm working with now, and my job at this point, after I have everything laid in, is to just go back in and restate all the masses adding more color shifts to each mass. The way that I do that is that I just kind of observe the subject material. If I was out in nature, I would just be looking right at the truck. And in every mass, there's going to be a lot of different color shifts happening. This is something that your eye sensitizes to after a lot of painting has happened in your life. And I'm just going to start to see, how does the mass differ from one side to the next? And I'm going to add in all of those color shifts that I see at this point.